Pete Porcelli coached the Lansingburg football team from 2001 to 2008, and what a run. 4 titles in 8 years, and in 2007 they were within a play or two of a state title. Now, after that, Porcelli moved on to Albany High, where he coached for a year, and then in 2011 he was head coach of Green Tech in its inaugural varsity season. Porcelli obviously loves a challenge, and his next one was a big one. He took over the Hoosick Valley program in the middle of the 2013 season. At the time, Hoosick Valley had won only 7 varsity games in the school's history against 54 losses. A year and a half later, not only did they make the Class C playoffs for the first time this season, but tomorrow night the Indians will play top-seeded Greenwich for the Super Bowl title. I checked in with the finalists earlier tonight. And on the eve of Hoosick Valley's first ever Super Bowl, I'm in the Indians locker room, joined by head coach Pete Porcelli. Thanks for inviting us up.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Well, if you go back 2.5 seasons to when you took over this program, at that point there were questions as to whether or not varsity football was even going to exist any longer at Hoosick Valley. No tradition of success at all. Could you have realistically imagined this moment would be possible within 2.5 years?
To be honest with you, I just want us to kind of go in the right direction as a football program. When I got the job, the kids had went through a few coaches before me, so building that trust between myself and the kids, I knew it was going to take a long time, and it did take some time. Right after our first season in 2013, that Monday we went right in the weight room, and a lot of the kids had no real background in lifting weights and developing power. So we really got after it. We worked out pretty hard. We went a few days a week for about 8-9 months, went to a few different competitions, went to some football camps. Then in 2014, you know, we still played a Class D schedule. We didn't have any playoff aspirations, but we went 7-2, and I thought that brought some confidence out of the kids, and it got more kids out to play football. So, you know, winning cures all those things. So I think that, you know, the kids took a little bit of time to believe in me, but, you know, we've been doing pretty well ever since 2013, 2014.
And then you open up this season against Hoosick Falls, who had been the class of Class C for so long, and you get a win that shocked Section 2. How satisfying, gratifying was that for you and the players?
You know, these kids have played Pop Warner for a long time, played youth football for the Stampede, and they've locked horns with Hoosick Falls and Greenwich before, so they've had some experience at the lower levels. But at the upper levels, they haven't had any success. So we really talked about the Hoosick Falls game for months in advance, and the kids were really pumped up for that game. And you know, the only people that really mattered who believed that we can win that game was us. And we started out on a high note, and then we had really 3 tough games that really we try to say was we kind of ran a gauntlet of 3 tough games. We had to play Corinth, we lost to in a close game, then we played Greenwich and lost. And then we had to win out just to make the playoffs. And the goal from the beginning of the season was, let's make the playoffs, let's be a playoff team this year, and we did attain that goal.
When you took over this team, I think people that know Section 2 football knew exactly what type of offense you were going to instill here with the double wing offense. Why that style, and how have you had so much success with it?
You know, at first when I was coaching at Albany, I was a JV coach, and back in the late 90s, and the coach brought in the double wing from Queensbury from Coach Arian, and at first I didn't believe in it. But being an offensive lineman by trade, I started seeing how this is pretty cool. You can run counters, you can run powers, you can run outside, and then I bought into the whole system, you know, all the way. And once I did that, I think I got better as a coach. And it's a system of football. It's a branch of the wing tee. The wing tee has been around for years. It'll never die. And Shaker does a great job running the wing tee. So and Queensbury runs the double wing, Warrensburg, and but everywhere I've been, I've run the double wing, and we've had some success. So I've been really blessed that I've had players that had believed in the system, and because all that matters really is that the kids and the coaches believe in it. And if you have that, you can do good things.
Tell me about your career. When did you know you wanted to be a football coach?
I didn't really, you know, when I was playing high school and college football, even when I was playing for the Firebirds back in the early 90s, and I played arena football, I didn't really think that coaching would be something for me to do, but going into the phys ed field and being a phys ed teacher, it kind of went hand in hand. And I physically couldn't play at one time, and I said, the next best thing would be to coach and teach these kids, what I've learned. I've learned a lot of things through the game of football. I had a successful high school team in Long Island, in Bayshore, Long Island, and we were undefeated my senior year, ran the wing tee. And college, I've had some success, and I've been around a lot of great people, a lot of great coaches, and I just thought that would be a natural transition from playing to coaching, and God, I really love it. I really love coaching. I just, I know I've coached at a lot of different places, and I like rebuilding things. I like rebuilding, and I also like building things up.
And let's talk about that, because obviously you won championships at Lansingburg, then quick stops with Albany and with Green Tech before coming here. In both of those schools, a chance to try and build something up, but why not stay longer?
Just, I just felt that, as a coach, I know that, Albany is my home district, and I love coaching at Albany, and I love coaching anywhere I've gone. I was able to, build the Green Tech kind of program, get that going. And my son was playing football. My son Peter was playing at Shaker, and then he was a junior and a senior, and I didn't want to miss his game, so I kind of took a year or two off from coaching. And I always said when I go back to be a head coach, I want to coach a small community-based football program. And this is it. This is a community-based football program. We don't have a lot of Chiefs, but we got a lot of Indians. So, and we are the Indians. So it's good. I think the timing, like I said before, the timing, being in the right place in the right time, having some kids that believe, having kids that work hard, and having kids that aren't afraid to sweat and afraid to get after it in practice. And everything's been going pretty well so far, and hopefully we can keep it going. What's it been like around this school this past week and in this community? Have you seen a lot of support for this team heading into the Super Bowl? A lot of support. We've had parents and supporters and community supporters before we go out to our bus and following the bus and honking the horns, and just what I envisioned as a coach, that this is what I want to get back to. I mean, Lansingburg was similar to this. Lansingburg was a bigger school, but the community has been great. The parents have been great. They've all bought into it. The kids have bought into it. Football's 24/7 for me. It's 365 because, if you're not training in the off season, and we consider ourselves a power football team, and if you don't have any power, if you're not in the weight room in the off season, well, there's no reason to run that offense. So, but I've been very thankful that the kids have worked so hard, and we truly are a team. It's a team effort. Win, lose, or draw. I love the kids, love the community, and I know they're going to give the community, give themselves the 100% effort that we need at this game against Greenwich. And then finally, to wrap up, let's talk about this game. You played them once earlier this season, and I know you don't want to necessarily show your hand with me right now before the game, but what did you learn from that first game that you can't take into the rematch? You can't take anything for granted. Greenwich has really not too many weaknesses. They're a very good football team. They got a good offensive line, good defensive line, great quarterback, great running back, linebackers that flow to the football, everything you'd want in a football team. So we did learn some things from film. I mean, we're gonna do a few different things, see if that works. And like I said, like I tell the kids, ever since we made the playoffs and we went to Fonda, everything's been 1-0. We got to be 1-0 this week. Let's just be 1-0. We were 1-0 against Fonda. We were 1-0 against Mechanicville, and that's still the goal, to be 1-0 and win a football game. Try not to make the game bigger than what it is. I know it's a Super Bowl, but it's a football game where you have to execute your X's and O's. Kids have to finish their blocks. They have to make good tackles, and Greenwich is, they're all that and then some. So it's we look forward to this challenge, and we're just very grateful and thankful that we get another chance to play them. Well, thank you for having us up, and best of luck in the Super Bowl, Coach. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Pete painted the picture of what this fairy tale run means to him and the community. What about for the players? For that, we go back to Hoosick Valley and Brittany Devane. You got your start when you were 8 years old. What made you want to start playing football here? I just enjoyed the sport, seeing it on TV every Sunday, and just figured something I'd love to play.
What were all your friends doing at the time? Did they say, man, why are you doing that? Or did they kind of come with you?
Oh, that was a big group effort. We all just started playing at recess, and then we went to practice after school.
And now, years later, you're seeing that kind of pay off. You started the Pop Warner football team. Do you think that you would be where you are today with this high school team if it wasn't for that Pop Warner team?
No, I think it's started a good base. So we built up from the base, from the ground up. So it's definitely a helpful thing.
How many guys on the team now were you playing with when you were 8 years old?
All of them, every single one of them.
So it says a lot that that you stick around, because football is a hard sport to grow. How has the community been receptive of you guys?
The community is a big part of it. Like just coming out of a game and seeing everyone on the stands there with your back. Just community is so great for us. All the things they do for us.
All right. Well, good luck this weekend.
All right. Thank you.
Kelly?
All right, thanks, Brittany. We'll kick off tomorrow night is at 7 o'clock. And oh, by the way, the game is on a neutral site at Lansingburg, where Porcelli coached the Knights to 4 Super Bowl titles.